Prologue. Elsa. Though the iron bars looked the same from either side, the interior of the prison cell was a lot damper than Elsa had anticipated. The narrow window at the top of her small enclosure let in only a tiny sliver of light, enough to let her know that the night had finally passed and morning was dawning, but not enough to actually brighten the room. That was probably for the best, since it kept her from being able to see whatever was growing in the dark corners of the cell and contributing to the wet, musty odor. Elsa shivered and pulled her knees to her chest, tucking her toes underneath her skirts and shifting her position on the thin, hard cot. Clothes in the summer court were not designed for warmth, and the silky light blue fabric of her dress was little help in keeping out the underground chill. She sighed as she rested her chin on her knees, and hopeless tears blurred the edges of her vision. Where is Geoffrey? A clanging sound at the end of the corridor drew her attention, and Elsa quickly scrambled off the sorry excuse for a bed and pressed herself up against the iron bars of her cell. A heavy door slowly swung open with a creak, and the jingle of heavy metal keys echoed off the walls. A short, burly guard entered, followed closely by a tall fae with the sharp, flawless features and pointed ears that were common amongst all elves, herself included. His dark hair was pulled back from his face, highlighting his gloating eyes and the smug smirk that spread across his face as he approached with the graceful stealth of a cat stalking its prey. Elsa straightened and pushed her blonde hair away. She couldn't do anything about the rumpled state of her dress, but she could at least pretend it didn't bother her.
"Elsa, I'm so relieved to see that you have survived the night."
The tone of the fae's voice completely contradicted his words. Elsa lifted her chin and corrected him primly. "You will address me as Your Highness."
"Perhaps for now, but I suppose we'll see what happens after your trial, won't we? After all, it would send a bad message to the rest of Faerie if the summer court allowed a murderer to sit on its throne."
He stepped back and gestured for the dwarf guard to open the cell. The hinges squealed as the bars slowly swung open. The grating sound amplified as it bounced off the cold stone walls, ushering in her future with a solemn finality. Elsa squared her shoulders, refusing to show weakness as she stepped through the door of her cell with poised, graceful steps. No matter what the verdict would be, she had a feeling her trial was just beginning. Almighty, if you're listening, I could really use a hero right now.